We're loading in now.
Right, welcome back to PSGL. After a brief delay, after a horrendous game-breaking glitch, we are back. And if you missed us last time, we had, well, I've just mentioned what we've just seen, but we had something that's never happened before, at least in my time being here. I've been here about 4 years, and by my count, 10 seasons. And we had a glitch I've never seen before. So the host left the lobby, the screen went to black, and what happened was they all reset. We'll talk about it later anyway because we are going to get underway. 5 lights ahead of the drivers. It's Acid on pole, Chris Rebel in second, and we are underway here in the Circuit of Catalonia for real this time. And are going to get underway down into the very first turn. And it looks like Acid is well clear this time as there's a battle mid-pack, and it looks like that it is involving Yakin and Chris Rebel. Chris Rebel has fallen down to 7th. It's a horrendous start from him. Don't know what has happened, but he's obviously got his setup wrong, and he's completely holding everyone up behind. It is Acid ahead of Finley, ahead of Coleman, ahead of Slash, ahead of Yakin, Leonardo, and Chris Rebel. And there's some spinning back there. That's Spicer in the back, who's lost a lot of places. And there is still Acid leading now as we've got a clash between Spyros and Moikuli.
Rebel and Aston Martin falling adrift to the field. Didn't quite catch that, but both drivers spearing off the circuit. Both cars with damage, actually. Maybe Spyros' Aston Martin is free of that. Further back, further up the field, we see in that train Vita, Matisse swapping places down there, and P12 and 13 near the back of the train. And up ahead, the Alpines fighting out. Then Jovanik getting in front of Frank Deshorny has to yield that one down into P9. So at the moment, then it is Acid that does lead Finley, Kuhlman, Slash, Joaquin. You can see cars slipstreaming down that straight then, and peeling out then. The two Alpines are going to swap yet again. This time Frank Deshorny gets in front of Jovanik, so they are going back and forth, fighting it out hard, and they will go at it for P8 and 9, trying to rearrange themselves, though, try and get things back in order. Now, we did see on the last race we did that got cut short how powerful that DRS and slipstream is, and with DRS already active on lap 2, we did know that being at the front isn't the advantage that you think it is, but if you're in first place, you are often a sitting duck, especially on that main straight.
Absolutely, the gap only 3/10 DRS enabled on lap 2 as per the rules in this game that have been new since going on par with the real life regulations, as Finley tries to close up, is unsuccessful in doing so, must remain in second place for the time being. Yakin in the kick, Sauber in 5th, chasing down on Slash and then Coolman, but Finley now starting to close that gap. He made advantage on the corners, which will give him a great run up. You can see Acid not doing that well in the corners, and now he's going to be easy bait for Finley. He's coming through now, and looks like Coleman might have a shot here, but I do think he's a little too far back. Yes, he is, but Finley takes the lead again, and now is into the lead as Vita is down to 13th place, loses position to Spicer, and Napple there involved as well.
Yeah, Napple, of course, on those hard tyres, trying to fend off in these early laps, but Spicer lunging to the inside of turn 4, snatches up that 11th placer. Does he? Bit crossed up on the exit, and the Ferrari fights back. They go parallel into turn 5. Spicer very deep on the brakes, manages to make it work, and the door opens for Vita. They're going to go side by side, then the Haas and the Ferrari, but it's the Ferrari that wins out in that battle as Vita has to back out. But you can see those hard tyres not quite working as you would want, not quite in the right window. Then the crossover crossover point hasn't happened yet. You can see Joaquin having a look, I should say, on ML Slash remains in that 5th place as Leonardo all over him. And in that last race, which we saw splitting up very early, with the exception of Spyros and the 2 Red Bulls, everyone else remaining nicely intact. So DRS trade beginning to form, Fenley dragging everyone along, and aside from that 6-car fight we had for the lead before, now we have essentially the majority of the field down towards Vita, as Chris Rebel seems to have picked up a 3-second time penalty as the lead swaps again. Acid going in front of Fenley now.
Yeah, Chris Rebel's got a 3-second time penalty already. Vita off screen has gone up to 12th, so both gains from both Haas drivers, as it looks like Finley's going to try and get back at him here. He's got the advantage in the corners. He's going on the outside. He collides with Acid and loses momentum, and now Coleman is going to try and take 2nd place, going on the outside. A brave, bold move that doesn't seem like it's going to be working. Not even a switchback. It's too narrow to get a switchback here. But now Finley's in danger of losing 2nd place to Coleman, who has advanced his position up very nicely. Slash right behind as well, so don't count anyone out in this top echelon off this leaderboard. As here he goes again, Coleman teasing a move, and Jurgen as well, but can't get anywhere. This is helping Acid extend the gap to 6 tenths, even though his form in the corners isn't as great as those behind. Finley now really starting to struggle, and nearly struggles again going on the outside.
Finley had a big twitch in the middle of turn 12, managed to correct it, but he did lose some time. They're very close, tucked in behind him then. Coolman picking up that slipstream, but you can see how much Finley is closing on Acid, up and alongside by the break zone of turn 1, goes in very, very hot, manages to rescue it, but Acid is fighting back, round the outside of 2, they bang wheels just slightly.
Oh, no.
Coolman's looking in from behind, Acid gets in front, Finley has to yield that one, and Coolman on the move now, in the Mercedes, he's trying to get one, looking for another. Finley up on the outside of turn 4, sends it deep round the outside, has to yield eventually. Acid does get through, and Coolman trying to snatch up that 2nd place. He's boxed in the turn 5, and he tags Acid. Acid caught by Coolman then, and the Mercedes and the V-Car are side by side, and Acid dropping down the order then, fighting away in that Haas. He's still ghosted.
What?
Somehow,
No,
he's now back in the lead.
And Finley's gone. Finley is in the wall. Acid just ghosted through the entire field, took advantage of the ghosting, and went back from 5th to 1st. I've never seen that before. What do they have now? Because Acid's in the lead, Finley's in the wall, and Yuckin getting past Siredek for 7th place. What is happening?
It is unorganised chaos on the circuit at the moment. Coolman now snatching back that race lead, but look at Leonardo. We've seen him try to brave 3 wide in the past. He's looking again.
No,
gets alongside
not
Acid
again.
by turn 1, but he's going to get boxed in there. Acid holding it right the outside. Bit of contact between them. Leonardo manages to stay on the circuit just about. But yeah, Finley having to go into the pits after that incident. I couldn't really cover it. There was just so much going on with Acid. Going from 5th to 1st in one corner, going through everyone. Again, I'm with you on that one. I've never seen anything like that, as Finley goes into the pits, hard tyres on, and away he goes as the rest of the drivers just slot their way through. But yeah, Acid, who somehow ended up first out of all that skirmish, now runs 2nd behind Coolman, who now leads. But I wonder if there'll be a steward's inquiry, because it was Coolman into the back of Acid at turn 5 as Joaquin moving through on Chris Rebel. Chris Rebel gets run out of road at turn 9, and look at Sviatek then trying to follow through. He runs out of space, and then on the outside is Spicer. Spicer trying to take advantage in that Williams, side by side through 10 and 11, and now through 12 with the inside line now going to that Williams man. And Sviatek is hung out to dry up on the outside. He's going to have to back out of that one surely, and through it goes Spicer to P8. Wow, what drama down there in the order. There's Frantic to Shawnee picks up a time penalty. These aren't popping up for me, I'm just seeing them on the timing tower as Acid takes the lead back from Coleman nice and easy, as the top 5 threaten to separate themselves, as Joaquin soaking up a lot of pressure from the 2 Williams who run side by side through turns 1 and 2. Chris Rebel's rear end squirming around. He has to slot in behind his teammate, but Joaquin getting dropped from that DRS, so we may see, as it was in the last race, with 5 drivers pulling clear of the rest, but with one exception, Finley not in there, and Slash in that mix now. But you can see, it's a big lunge from Guimas onto Chris Rebel. These drivers just do not know when to quit as they go side by side into turn 7. I'll hand over to you in that case, Logan.
I was about to say back to the lead, and Acid's about to take the lead again, but you just kept going on. Anyway, here comes Coolman back for that lead. Your job is color commentator. Anyway, I'm gonna get sacked for this. Nah, I'm just kidding. You're all good, Dake. I understand. It's a long. I won't do that again, I promise. But I'll have my time now. But Gamers now is right behind Chris Rebel. Chris Rebel has lost 6 places. I do not understand how that happens, as we see Spicer and Yakin duel out, the Kickstarter and the Williams duel out, as Acid loses the lead again to Coolman. And Yakin staying behind Spicer. Spicer now up into 6th place, as we can see Vita coming through turn number 3. He's trying to gain into the points positions he has already, but wants to get an extra point from Guimus.
Still, that train runs down to P10 at the moment. Spicer trying to get himself back with that top 5. He's had to burn a lot of battery, but managing to just about hang on in there. Things are kind of stalemating between the leaders as it stands. Coolman leading from Acid. These guys much better off on battery, just cruising along as it says, but very, very close to each other. Acid right up behind Coolman here, and he's gonna wait. You can see it. They actually did run into the back of him there, but yeah, you can see Acid then not too eager to try and snatch up that lead. But you got to be careful you don't misjudge the space then. They managed to get away with it that time, but Acid, if he sits back for too long, that's when Leonardo in that Ferrari, who's been on the offensive so far in this race, could take advantage. He runs 3rd in the Ferrari, staring down the top 2.
And now the battle is on. Coleman and Acid and Leonardo, they're going to be in the same block of drivers fighting for the lead. It could be 3 wide if Leonardo decides it, but no, he's not close enough. Acid back into the lead. Slash is now in a battle. Frank is now in a battle, bar a 3-second penalty. And Spicer, if they keep squabbling, will be involved too. It's a massive battle for the lead again. Hopefully the game doesn't crash this time, because at this lap, it did. So it's Acid ahead of Coleman, ahead of Leonardo. Once again, apologies to the way I treated you, Dake. I was starting to say something and then you just wouldn't stop, but you can't help that sometimes. Coleman starting to close up again on Acid. We have said that Acid's form in the corners hasn't been as great as other drivers, so this is where his weak spot will be. But Coleman doesn't seem to be taking advantage of it right now.
I think he's being patient, Logan. I don't think he's taking too many chances, just trying to follow through. Acid taking a nice run into turn 12. Look at Leonardo, though. Top 10 underneath the rear wing of that Mercedes. Pretty much nothing separating those guys, and it could get tasty heading on to the main straight. Acid leads. Oh, Leonardo getting a bit crossed up through that final corner, having to, I think, relinquish that chase of P2. The closing speed down this main straight is astonishing, and Coleman will take back the race lead. Surely into turn 1. Snatches that back up. Oh, Leonardo locking up behind the second place man. Manages to hold on to that P2, but they all continue to bunch up. It's, I would say, fairly civilised compared to the last race, but on lap 10, it could set off at any point. It's fairly calm at the moment, but that can all change.
Look at this. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Fighting for the lead as there's yellow flag. Chris Rebel has went off the track and the yellow flag's still out, so no passing allowed. Chris Rebel has just gone from bad for worse. He was stuck in the gravel. I'm not kidding. He was actually stuck in the gravel and he's reset on track. I don't blame him for doing that, to be fair. Oh my goodness, they're getting so close to top 6. If it's an unassailable situation, I think it's only fair you reset to track. So I don't think they'll be looking at that, as there's a pass for Yukin through the 3rd sector. This is impressive. A battle for position. And it's happening with a couple overtakes, but looks like Grimace is going to win this one, and they're both in the pits. They're both going to pits at the same time. They're going to be the guinea pigs for the pit as it starts to be wide open. Is this 3 wide? Not quite. Acid holds on. Leonardo in 2nd, and now Coleman down to 3rd as 4th, 5th and 6th remain the same. So it looks like it's going to be hard tyres for Grimace. And Chris Rebel's retired in the pit, so that'll be the end of his race. A disappointing race from Chris Rebel, Sidek, and Jurkin also going on the hards.
emerging from that pit lane, and that outlap is going to be crucial. I imagine a lot of the race leaders are going to be in at the end of this lap. Heading on to lap 11 now, just under a third of the way through this race. It is still a group of 6 running the best part of nose to tail out there at the moment. You can see Leonardo in second place. That Ferrari does not seem settled at all through the corners. He's managing to make it work, but very, very nervous, it must be said. Of course, the grip is going to be fading from those tyres. You've got to try and keep it on the island then as we head towards the end of lap 11. Are we going to see cars pulling off? The race leading Haas of Acid is going to stay out. In fact, it seems like these guys predominantly are going to stay out, as Vradek has gone off somewhere. I think that's heading out of turn 7.
It is.
And the Alpine has gone off, and a full safety car comes out, and that means that the cars from 7th down can take advantage.
Actually, it's turn 9. Turn 9 is where he has crashed and out of the race. He has got... No, it is turn 8. It's turn 8. I do apologise. Turn 8 has cost Spydeck a place in this race. So it is all over for that driver. And everyone's coming in the pits now. Vita, Napol, Spyros, Yukin. Wait, didn't Yukin just pit? Didn't he just pit? He's going back on the tyres again. Is this a new set of mediums coming on? This can't be right. It's a new set of hards? What? Why? Oh, he's got wing damage. He must have been involved in a collision. I did not see that. So, safety car, pardon me, is going to really change things here. It's going to bring those down in the top 6, below the top 6, into the race again. Yakin has to change it. It's not going to really much costing him. I mean, he only lost 1 position. And he will be bunched up behind the safety car. So I guess why he did it. Here they all coming in, the leading 6. The 6 packs coming in. Oh my goodness. Careful on the throttle, Spicer. And coming in. So it is Acid. And Leonardo, Frank Destroying. Let's see what they're going to be going on. No double stacking as they're all in different teams. It's going to be hards from all. And it will still be Acid Coleman. Yeah, the orders pretty much remain the same.
Watch Vita.
From the previous. Let's see where Vita's going to get. Vita is going to get in the P3 here. Vita getting up the order from dead last. What a strategy. And now Haas have a chance at a double. Oh, what is that? What is that? How can you do that? He just... Oh, hold on. He may have had to give those positions back. I'm not entirely sure.
I think he got into contact with Leonardo. It's difficult to tell that a little bit, but I think there was no reason for him to give up those positions. I think he was caught up behind the Ferrari. Not sure who would have been more at fault for that one, but I'm afraid, Logan, that was something of a commentator's curse, it must be said. Now down into 8th place, and things were looking so good, of course. Vita was right in the mix, of course, in that Miami Grand Prix. Looked to be given a bit of a lifeline. It's still good for him, and that just shown the disadvantage that those guys that were running the top 6 had, because they couldn't pit under the first lap of the safety car. It's only Spicer that's lost out. He's now behind Napol, who, after starting on the hards, now has some mediums to work with. So he will be, I imagine, targeting those top 5, trying to work his way through. And it's also going to bring Matisse, Finlay, Moikuli back into the race. So this safety car changes the complexion of things a little bit, and it's unfortunate for Zviadek, but it does bring 3 cars that seemed almost out of contention right back into play here.
Yeah, so a very unusual situation we've found, but that means we will be restarting next lap, it should be. As look at them weaving so much to build temperature in their tyres. It just looks obscenely obsessive. Excessive, not obsessive, I do. I'm very bad with my vocabulary, I must apologise. And my manners, as you can hear from earlier. Wait. Oh, I think I know why. I think Leonardo just glitched a bit there. I might be wrong, but he didn't look like he was in an alright state. But there he is. They're still weaving around as the safety car stays on the racing line. Oh! What was that? Oh. You see that? Acid! Looks like he ran it back. Now, was that a revenge move? I don't want to... I don't want to like suggest, but that looked like because you did say that Leonardo may have caught Vita up. That this might be something. This might be some kind of a revenge tactic. Now look at this; they're all weaving way too close to each other. This is dangerous. They're going to have to do, a 10-second penalty for Slash. He collided with Coleman. It looked like that is what he had intended, and that's probably going to serve him right for not playing by the book. And look, this is getting beyond acceptable now. This is beyond unacceptable, I should say. It is going to be a safety car in this lap. Leonardo has... That looked like a really suspicious move. That looked like a brake test to me. You wouldn't do that if you're the leader.
I'm not sure if it's a brake test or if it's just losing the rear of the car because of the weaving. I'm not sure. But anyway, we will get back to racing. Acid setting the pace. The safety car has gone to the pit lane, and now he plants that throttle pedal in away, and it's a good restart from Acid. Leonardo trying to respond. Coolman with an in. Slash was slow to react. Now as Frank Deschorny up and alongside him in that Alpine, and Napple in the Ferrari trying to move on those mediums. So side by side down the straight. Up ahead, side by side is Frank Deschorny, and Slash is going to be last of the late breakers. Frank gets pinched on the inside. They make a bit of contact. Dragged off the circuit, and off they go. Slash out of the race. Frank Deschorny off the circuit. They just got locked together, and one safety car quickly lends to another.
And Spyros has got a 10-second penalty. Safety car again. Frank Deschorny should be given a penalty, in my opinion. They both refused to yield and paid the price, and he's going to need a new wing now. This race is starting to really get out of control. I understand everyone's frustrated about the happenings early on, but there's no need to let it out on other drivers. Acid still leads ahead of Leonardo, ahead of Coleman, ahead of Napple. Napple is in fourth. Oh, they're weaving again.
Yeah,
they're weaving too much. I think excessive weaving, isn't that a punishable offence even under safety car?
I'd have to have another look at things. I do hope it doesn't lend itself to any more incidents. We've already seen one driver pick up a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision under the safety car. Two drivers, I should say. It's Spyros there in P7. They all just work their way around again. I'm seeing if anyone's going to take advantage and go to the pit stops. Frank Deschorny, of course, without a front wing on that Alpine, does come in, and you have to say he was running some of his best laps of the season until that incident with Slash. Of course, we may see a couple of his stewards' inquiries. I'm not sure about that, but the Alpine will come in and surely rejoin the pack in the next lap or two, as the rest of the pack is gathered back up by the safety car. And well, after the rather choppy evening we've had up to this point, I do sincerely hope that the rest of this race runs by nice and smoothly, and we get some of that PSGL F3 action that we all know and love in the second half of this race.
So we're down to 13 now with the loss of Slash in the previous lap. So it looks like we're going to have Frank Deschorny join us, and then we'll get going again, as the safety car is currently leading them. Again, he has had to work very hard today, has Bernd Maylander in that Aston Martin safety car. We tried to get a Seat Cupra, but they wouldn't let us use it, which is quite a shame. Yeah, I mean, it is Spanish, so it makes sense. My goodness me, the Haas was right behind the safety car. You touch the safety car, that's a penalty. In the older games, that was a disqualification. Sometimes the car would glitch in front of you and you'd get the insta DQ. It would be very unfair.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye out, but yeah, I have seen some rather incredible glitches then. Yeah, Frank Deschorny isn't going to be there in time into the train, so we will go round for another lap under this safety car and get back to things yet again. So Acid will control yet another safety car restart, and got the first one fairly spot on, going in between turns 13 and 14. He's driving nearly alongside it, heading down that main straight, not leaving a very big gap at all. Oh, I have to say, I don't know if they get nervous watching drivers under safety car, but yeah, I am getting it from watching this. Acid is sitting so close behind that Aston.
Yeah, and I think Bernd Maylander, for the first time in his career, is feeling intimidated. Well, maybe apart from Nick Heidfeld in that safety car incident. I think Burnley Lander was driving the safety car that day. Oh no, that was the medical car, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think Enxler in the WTCC crashed into the safety car, and in Poe in WTCC, it was one of the weirdest things ever. To be fair, he couldn't really see the safety car; it came out as such a surprise. But yeah, the safety car is going too slow, in my opinion. I've never seen it this slow before.
And I imagine that's going to be equally frustrating for the drivers who, especially because the majority of the field is on the hard tyres, it's going to be difficult to maintain temperature in those. That may be good news for someone like Napple, who has been in the wars and has moved up into that 4th place with the medium tyres, who will still, I imagine, be the tyre to be on. But the hards didn't look so good in the first stint in his hands. Now he has that tyre advantage flipped around. As we head into the 3rd sector, we should get the call from race control. I imagine
we did,
although I can't see it, but we should get back to racing on this lap, Logan.
Yeah, as the safety car graphic gives me epilepsy again. Sorry to anyone epileptic as well. So it should be Acid that leads us away. When's he going to drop the throttle? That's the question. Look how close Leonardo's close to him. That could be a penalty if he's not careful. So here we go. Look, he's so close. He gets away, and Leonardo is left for dead, it seems. As they come in the final corner, it's going to be Leonardo versus Acid, and it's going to be Leonardo that has a chance at taking the lead, but here comes Coolman behind as well. But no, Leonardo can't get it. Acid edges him out as we've got another battle further back.
Round the outside is that kick server of Spyros in the Aston Martin. Gets caught on the inside. Fenley trying to follow through, trying to get on his comeback trail after spinning out of that lead fight. He's on the outside, but Spyros is not giving up either, but he gets pinched there, and Fenley is going to be right around the outside, has those medium tyres, has a lot of grip. He's going to lodge to the inside, and round goes Joaquin. We've got another incident, and the kick server drops right down the order. Then Fenley sent it, and there is an end plate flying. I'm not sure off of what car, as they all filter through the middle sector of the lap. That's created a split in the train. I'm trying to pick up what car picked up damage from that, but there was definitely someone. That midfield fight is so hot-tempered. You'd see Matisse almost running into the back of Spyros. There's almost nothing to choose between them. Guimos up behind Matisse, who runs a little bit wide through 12. Maybe it's that Red Bull that has the damage. I'm not sure, but it's all kicking off in that midfield, and it's allowing the top runners to move away as we head on to the 19th lap.
A poor exit from the penultimate turn for Coleman, and this will give chance for Napoli to catch up. Leonardo in the other Ferrari is going for it. Is he? No, he's sticking behind. He's waiting his turn, but that means Coleman can catch up to him. And Napoli and Vita as well. Vita now in 5th place, as that's Spyro suffering at the back. He's losing positions, losing momentum out of the first turns, it looks like. And now he's going to fall down to 11th, maybe 12th if Spicer gets him, and he's going for it on the outside. He gets pushed off, and Spicer loses it altogether, and back to dead last he goes.
My oh my, so the Williams in dire straits at the moment, then trying to recover his way through. It's been a testing evening for NLR Spicer. At the other end of the field, GT and Acid controlling the front of the race fairly confidently, but you can see them all stacking up behind. So it's a group of 6 for the lead once again. Matisse has just dropped back from DRS. Fenley making good progress on those mediums. Got the second freshest tyres in the field. Frank DeShorney is the one car that has theoretically better tyres underneath him. Trying to make the most of that is Fenley, currently in 6th place. DRS is going to change the order, I think, at the front of the field. Leonardo is going to slipstream Acid easily through it to the race lead. Napoli in the other Ferrari is trying to challenge Coolman, but Coolman, look at Acid, a sitting duck on the inside. Coolman in a turn 1 gets crossed up on the inside, nearly loses it on the curb, and can't quite get through on the Haas. So Acid does maintain position 2. Napoli trying to harry Coolman, can't quite find it. Vita Fenley running through in formation. They 6 still running nicely. Matisse trying to come across, and Frank Jastorny, I think he's just gone through on Moikule trying to get back there too. So the field's still fairly bunched up. Couple of small gaps in there as everyone tries to plug those gaps, get into that DRS range, and that is going to be so key. So still the field spread's small. We're on the 20th lap of this race. We're finally getting towards the end of proceedings here tonight. It's been a mammoth task for all these drivers. Leonardo now leads, Acid trying to stay with him then, and Kuhlman trying to get in the mix. Napple in fourth place, sorry. Are those mediums starting to fall away? Finley and Vita side by side, and it's an easy move for the V-Carb car. Goes into 5th place, now staring down the Ferrari in front.
So Finley goes back up to 5th. He had a horrendous start. He crashed midway through and fell right to the back of the grid. Now he's making his gains back. He's recouping his losses, unlike the stock market today, and sets the fastest timer for 1:14.114. I'm sorry, I had to mention it. Acid's going to go back into the lead here. No challenge from Leonardo. It looked like there was, but no, he's backed out immediately there. And Finley now starting to get behind Napple, and Coleman as well, starting to become vulnerable from the medium tyre runners behind. Napple might look for an opportunity here to get into the podium spot as Finley right is behind, but he can't get make the move, as there also seems to be another battle, and it's a Red Bull sandwich for Frank Jastorny.
Under a bit of pressure then, trying to make it work. Going to the inside towards turn 7. My oh my, you don't see any overtakes there, but he gets it done. Yeah, Matisse, I think, was dropping off the pace of the cars in front, and so Frank Jastorny not hanging around as Moikule going to follow suit, but with DRS as well for his teammate, that's going to be a hard one to pull off, as Slash, who's already out of the race, decided to come out of it, as Moikule going inside of Matisse. Matisse seems to have no pace out there at the moment, dropping down another position. Doesn't seem to be any damage on that car, but Matisse clearly just unable to quite find any speed out there, and he's lost 2 places on this one lap and falling away. So Matisse struggling out there. Can he rescue some kind of pace then? As up at the front, Acid looks like he may finally maintain the lead for one lap. Sorry, Leonardo managing to stay in that 2nd place and unable to challenge Acid. Acid holds on for the moment then, but everything finally poised in that top 6 group.
Finley trying to get past Napple again, but he just can't seem to get anywhere. He's the freshest tyres out of them all, apart from Frank Jastorny, who has a penalty. Actually, Finley has a penalty as well. Now, what was that for again? It was his it was his time penalty for exceeding track limits. Sorry, I think Spyros was a 10-second penalty, and Slash, who's already out of the race, had a 10-second penalty. Frank Jastorny also had a 3-second penalty for cutting corners one too many times, as the leading 6 get into turn number 10, the corner that was modified in 2021. Not that horrendous angled corner, which nobody liked. It's a very sharp corner, but this is way better now. Kind of like the old one from about 2002, but now is this Leonardo's time to shine. Here he comes, he's got the DRS on, and it's going to be an easy move for him, it seems like. Yes, it is. Any moves behind him of note? No. As, whoa, what's that? Finley nearly going into Napple and Coleman as well, and somehow keeping it together. But now Finley's going to look for a move, as we have an incident involving Spicer. Spicer's out of the race again, and it looks like it's in the wall. So that's the end of Spicer's race now. Hopefully his elimination doesn't cause another glitch like last time, as we don't seem to be getting a safety car from this. He retired on track. Moving. He retired on track. That's what happened. He retired on track. That is against the rules, as you well know. Finley going on the outside. Sorry, Finley going on the outside of Napple. Going for the switchback. Wow, what a move! Could he pull it off? No, Napple is saying, no, you're not getting through, not like this. Oh, he's gone on the outside! Where has that come from? He's pulled a rabbit out of the hat! What in the world?
They swap places down the lead for the main straight again. Acid now leads. What a move from Finley. And now Vita's trying to get through, but he gets shut the door on by the Ferrari on this occasion. That switchback from Finley. Wow, that was a stunner. But now he still has work to do. He's got very low battery and he needs to try and get a hold of that lead trio who have taken that opportunity to move clear. Look at how close Vita is to Napple. Napple's mediums seem to be falling off, and so Vita trying to get through, can't quite find that opening. Oh, he's nearly tagging the back of the Ferrari. So Napple's pace seems to be falling away at the moment then. Vita trying to take advantage, but unable to find a way through as of yet. Finley's pace still looks strong though. He's clawed his way back towards that leading trio and does have DRS for his trouble. So Finley, he made that spectacular move on Napple, and now looking at those three race leaders getting ever closer. He's within DRS. Can he hold it through this last sector and set himself up? But those three guys are going to be very difficult nuts to crack.
They are indeed, and not only that, he's got a 3-second penalty to his name, so you have to win by more than 3 seconds to win the race outright. As the battle continues on between the leading three, the podium positions, Leonardo's going to get through. No challenge from Acid, he just lets it through. And now the game of cat and mouse continues as Vita finally gets through Napple. Napple not making it easy for him, but Vita gets up into P5. Napple starting to fall away now as Acid now trying to see if he can make some gains in the corners as he has struggled to all day. Leonardo starting to break away. Acid now starting to struggle, and he's got Coleman right behind him as off screen there's a battle for 9th place. Let's see what's going on here. Is diving inside Matisse, I apologise. Matisse going side by side into turn number 7. Might get ugly, but no, they back out at the right moment. It's still Leonardo that leads, but is there a gain here for Acid? No, he's not passing him.
Well, I think that's more of a patience game than anything else. He has a full battery to use at the moment. Leonardo has about half of his battery, so Acid seems to be biding his time, waiting for a better moment to strike, but it's going to be harder to not overtake than to get through because he's that distance back. And Coolman, if he does hesitate, will be taking advantage. The Mercedes is charging down the main straight, as is the Haas, who pulls out to the right hand side and takes the lead away from Leonardo, and Coolman decided to tuck in that time, not going on the offensive. Moikuli gets in front of Frantic Shawnee down the main straight too, moves up into that 7th place, will try and get himself up towards Napple, who we've seen struggling in the last couple of laps. So Moikuli moving through after a disastrous start to the race, now looking at a decent haul of points at the moment. We are inside the final 8 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. Leonardo was wide at 5, manages to hold off Coolman for the time being. He's got to try and make sure he doesn't lose Acid through this middle sector and give up that DRS, but at the moment it's still pretty comfortable. But Acid holding on nicely and with a bit more battery to use. He has looked. Oh, Leonardo's off the road. Leonardo, did he make a mistake at 9? Through goes Coleman and Finley. Trying to get through, can't quite make it, but Leonardo, a critical error. I said that car looked nervous, and it's been proved right as Coleman gets through the P2 and Leonardo finally cracking under that pressure and down to P3 now in the Ferrari.
You said it was as hard not to crack. Oh, not anymore. You just saw what happened. Finley now has a chance to take a podium position away, but he needs to get it by 3 seconds, and that looks quite unlikely considering how close these drivers have been at the front. Coleman is now going to have a chance to take the lead here, but he's not going to take it yet. He's going to wait his turn and try and find it. Acid has all that DRS to burn. Coleman has all that ERS to burn. Leonardo has to play catch-up. And now, Acid and Coleman taking different lines out of turn 3 into turn 4 with 7 laps to go. It is anyone's race still, as even Vita might have a chance to win this. Vita, if he can get past Finley and the other 3 and keep it clean, he could win this race from last place after a gamble botched up in the qualifiers. It is insane to think you can win from last in this game, but you can. Spyros gets into the book for another 3 seconds. That'll surely be him finishing in last place. He will not be getting any points from this unless Yakin makes a mistake. And he's just behind him as well, I should mention. Now, is there going to be a change in lead again? We've got 6 laps to go as we cross the finish line. Still anyone's race to win.
DRS open then for the Mercedes 410s back at the beginning of the straight. Acid, I do think, has the fastest car in a straight line. Coolman not catching quite so quickly, and he does remain in P2, but certainly was not interested in moving into the lead. Moikuli swapping away with Frank Deschorny this time on the outside. Matisse trying to follow through. Frank's not going to let that one happen. He remains P8, but that time penalty oh so costly as it stands then. Matisse and Joachim will be taking advantage of that as it stands. So Franek just hanging on by a thread in the points right now. So it's still remaining out there in P8, but these guys now a long way adrift of the leading sextet. Just about 3 seconds between Napple, who has managed to regroup and stay with the leaders, and Moikuli in P7, who will try and resist these guys behind to the checkered flag. 5.5 laps to go in Catalonia. It's taken a long time to get this race back underway. We have seen a race that has been filled with tension, and far from the end of it then. Acid, Kuhlman, Leonardo, Finley, Vita, Napple. That is your group of 6 that will dispute this as we head into the final 5 laps.
Finley has had a snap out of the third to last turn, and that may cost him because look who's right behind him. It's Vita. We have a massive Haas sandwich between first and fifth. So it's Coleman that's still not going to make a move. He's going to wait for the right time to possibly snatch the win from Acid. I should go to the standings, by the way. We haven't even looked at the standings all night. It's been 2 weeks. Give us a break. They are still fighting for the lead. I should mention, Coolman is your championship leader by 4 points. Acid is second and 4 points behind. And with that pole position, it would be 3 points. So, if he wins this, he takes the championship lead by a point, or count back if his opponent gets the fastest lap. But if Coleman wins, he will extend his lead.
Well, I think you're seeing the order in this PSF3 season so far. Acid and Coolman 1 and 2 in the standings, 1 and 2 in the race, and that is what we are searching for. Pole position, which is Acid on this occasion, has won 2 of the other 3 rounds in this season, so he does have that on his side, but how much does that really matter as they head down the main straight? Leonardo is trying to get himself back involved, but look at this, Acid is going backwards. Acid going backwards, cannot resist down that straight, and Leonardo right back in the game. He's almost pushing Coolman heading into turn 1. Coolman does have the lead in Acid. In the end, completely exposed, no DRS, and that is a difference it can make. In Acid from leading now down to third, and an awful lot more work to do now. 4 laps to go in Catalonia.
Coleman takes the lead, and I do apologise, I was looking at the wrong graphic. I went 1 round too early. Acid's on 29, Coleman is on 23, so if Coleman wins this now in this position, he takes the championship lead. Oh wait, you need the fast lap as well, because of course it's 30 points now for Acid because he got that pole position. So he will actually get, if he can get the fastest lap, he will take the championship lead on countback. Finley is in third, but he's in 4th place at the race right now. Leonardo, with a win here, would take himself up to 33 points, which would possibly take him into 2nd place in the championship, depending on where it goes now. Possibly 3rd, most likely. But now Acid starting to recoup his losses. Can he get back through? 3 laps to go. Now, how is Coleman's defense on these straights? He's not going to let them... He's going to let them scrap it out. Oh dear, it could be... Oh no! Oh no! That is a dangerous manoeuvre. And all of a sudden... Sorry. The game changes completely. There's no safety car. It's too late for one. Acid, oh, his race is ruined. His race is ruined. He's got danger. He's got damage on his wing. Oh, and he nearly takes it out on a driver. Please don't do that. Please, we go back to the pits, and you can see now they're fighting in the back. It's getting really dangerous. Frank Deschorny's got a 10-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. That might be disputed. Coleman is down in 6. He's still racing. No, he's got he's got no wing. He's got no wing. He's going to lose all these positions, and he has to back out. Surely it's too dangerous. 3 wide. You don't want to do that with a damaged car. Now Coleman and Acid causing that battle and costing each other the win. Leonardo now could be the championship leader Imagine that!
An insane turn of events. We've got 2 laps to go, and Finlay, the nearest challenger on circuit, has a time penalty to his name. So things have turned right up for Leonardo. That last incident, well, we'll see. I don't know if I can really evaluate it then, as Joaquin gets swapped down into turn 1 by him. And Frank Deschorny runs off the circuit. Rejoins, still side by side with the kick sober. And now on the inside, Joaquin trying to fight his way through. Frank Deschorny trying to hold on round the outside. Now turn 3 is going to run out of room there and has to yield in the end down to P7. Moy Cooley now back at the front of this train. Oh, Frank Deschorny goes late and there's contact yet again. The Alpine spurts out sideways. Acid and Matisse get through. They bang wheels heading into turn 7 now, and oh my goodness, somehow they get through that without coming a cropper, which has been to form, you'd have to say, in this race. Matisse now in front of Acid. Frank Deschorny losing multiple places, as Kuhlmann tries to salvage something, going for the fastest lap of the race. Going on to the final lap. Sorry.
Yeah, and he's collided with Frank Deschorny as well. This is the final lap then. Finlay trying to play spoiler to Leonardo. It's not going to stop Leonardo winning at this moment, but now Vito's going to get involved. He's going to avenge his fallen teammate, his fallen comrade, to try and even win this race. If Finlay can get through Leonardo, and if Vita can get past Leonardo, he will win the race from last place. What a story that would be! But I don't think he's going to be close enough yet, as Acid is still in 8th. He'll actually be on the lead on 34 points if he can hold this position. So Leonardo won't take the lead of the championship. Oh, be careful with those moves. I don't think there's going to be a move in time for Leonardo or Finlay. Finlay's got enough DRS, but so does Finlay. I don't think it's going to be enough. Leonardo's going to win this race. Now, what's Acid going to do? This will be depending on who wins this. Who gets the championship lead at this point. I think he's just going to hold position. That's all he needs to do. But Leonardo, nobody expects him to win this. But here he comes as the winner. Vita from last takes 2nd place. Napple from further down as well gets 3rd. It's an all Ferrari powered podium, with the Ferraris in 1st and 3rd.
I'll relieve you a little bit then, Logan. Over the line now, Franek and P10. So to run through it then, it was Leonardo from Vita, Napple, Finlay, Joaquin rounds out the top 5, managing to get in front of Moy Cooley, then Acid, Matisse, Spyros, Franek and Kuhlmann, who is going for a bit of consolation prize on this last lap. We'll round out the finishers. Well, that was a race unlike any other, for better or for worse, it must be said, as Kuhlmann, well, I don't think he's really going for fast lap. He's just doing something of a burnout and a half spin out there. Not the end of the race he was after, and yeah, things got fairly bad tempered down there. It was absolute unorganised chaos, just like in Austria, really, and yeah, tempers flaring as Kuhlmann retires out on circuit, bringing end to the evening. So yeah, that was quite something. A race that was almost postponed, restarted, finally got underway, and in the end it was a race of, well, many incidents, it must be said, but in the end it was the Ferrari man Leonardo who came through, managed to rise from the ashes and takes that race win. And I'm not sure if Logan is muted again, but
yeah, sorry. Acid gets 5 points for that. He'll be on 34 and still the championship leader as well. Finlay finished 4th. He's going to finish in 29 points. Kuhlmann gets nothing because he gets 11th place. Frank Deschorny actually gets the fastest lap, so he gets a bonus point for a fastest lap. Spicer stays on 20, but yeah, Leonardo's going to jump from 5th to 2nd, 1 point behind Acid, but that could all change. There is going to be a steward inquiry, so I'm quite sure that incident at the end is definitely going to get reviewed. I'm sure. Vita going to go up to 27 as well, going to overtake Spicer and Coolman. I think that could be good enough for third in the championship. Fourth in the championship. Pardon me.
Yeah, we'll get these calculations sorted as soon as we can. Of course, the
divisional. As we've seen for Lost Acid.
No, I'm still here. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll have a look at the standings later on. I believe that in spite of Acid getting caught up in that last lap, I do believe that Haas will still be leading the constructors. Of course, we do finally have a good look at the Constructors' Championships, because we have finally got a hold of the official F1 team cars. But yeah, this has run on, I think, longer than we anticipated, near 10 p.m. A race full of chaos, but that does wrap up now the first third of the season. I think all that's left to do is really look forward to the next race at the Hungaroring. We'll see if there'll be different. Sorry.
Yeah, the Hungaroring. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just reacting. That's the Hungaroring. They haven't been there in a while, it seems.
Well, we'll get a good look at it